can download and preview for free. One of the big things I wanted to do with Summer Game Fest was give everyone a chance to play more games at home. And I want to thank the team at Xbox for putting that together in these unusual circumstances where we don't have big consumer events to go and play games. But right now, let's take a look at ID at Xbox. And there are some new games in here as well. Check it out. There you go, Shredder's snowboarding game. I miss my SSX, so that one looks really good. And lots of great games coming to the ID at Xbox program that we're excited about. All right, now, though, we have a pretty cool brand new game to show you. This comes from a legendary game creator. And when I saw this and the journey he wants to take us on with this game, I was really excited and honored to have the opportunity to share this with you. So this is a bit of a longer piece, but it takes you into the world of a brand new game from a special creator in Japan. Please check this out.
Hello, Xbox ファンの皆様、スクエアエニックスの中裕二です。今日は皆様に不思議な物語をお届けに参りました。僕は現在スクエアエニックスにいてバランカンパニーという新しいブランドを立ち上げました。そしてここにいる昔ソニックやナイツを一緒に作った大島直人と20年ぶりにタッグを組んでアクションゲームを作っています。
中さんがスクエアエニックスに行くと知った時はびっくりしました。
僕も驚いたよ。
しかしこうしてまた一緒にタッグを組んでゲームを作れること、そして僕たちの得意とするゲーム作りとスクエアエニックスが得意とする物語や音楽とが合わさり、誰も体験したことのない新しいゲームを世界中の皆様にお届けできることをとても嬉しく思います。
今日僕たちが皆様にお届けするのはアクションゲームの全てを詰め込んだアクションゲームオブアクションゲーム、バランワンダーワールドです。アクションゲームにミュージカルの世界観を持ち込んでボタン一つでたくさんの衣装能力を使い進んでいくゲームになります。
苦悩や葛藤、人は誰しもがポジティブな気持ちとネガティブな気持ちのバランスを保ちながら生きています。しかしそのバランスが崩れた時、あなたはバランシアターに迷い込みます。悩める12人のキャストたちの心象世界をあなたはさまざまなアクションを駆使して進んでいきます。アクションの一つ一つが衣装に割り当てられており、その数はなんと80種類を超えます。衣装を次々に着替えながら各ステージに散りばめられた謎を解き、そしてネガティブな気持ちにとらわれてしまったキャストたちの心をあなたの手で取り戻してあげてください。
本作は24言語に対応予定です。 Xbox One、 さらに Xbox シリーズ X にももちろん対応し、片方のコンソールを持っていればどちらでも遊んでいただけるスマートデリバリーにも対応する予定です。世界中の皆様に 4K の最高画質で本作の世界を隅々まで楽しんでいただけます。ワンダーワールドの世界で皆様をお待ちしています。最後に今日は全世界初公開の映像も準備いたしましたので、どうぞご覧ください。It's show time!
Balan Wonderworld, a strange and mysterious land that you visit when you come to a turning point in life. Over 80 different costumes, unlocking unique actions and abilities.
Wedding count, ilawini, sindana, ay Wedding count, ilawini, sindana, ay Saguti, simrama,
Look into your hearts to discover what's most precious. Balan Wonderworld. Every moment is an adventure.
There it is, the announcement of Balan Wonderland. Nights was such a special and important game to me. I want to thank Nakasan and Square Enix for sharing that world premiere announcement with us here on the pre-show. There's even more good stuff, though, coming up at the top of the hour. We are just 6 minutes away, so we're going to have another group join us here as we count down in the final 5 minutes. We got Matt Pat joining us live from the Game Theorist headquarters.
It's over. I could check out right now. I am sold. Balan Wonderworld, #1 game. Over. Stand aside Halo Infinite. That was what I needed to see.
I was going to say, I was pretty excited when we got that. I'm like, okay, this pre-show is going to be pretty good. That's an exciting announcement. Just to have those guys back doing that. So yeah, I agree with you, Matt Pat. All right, we've also got JD Witherspoon joining us. What's up, Ron? How you doing?
Yo, I'm chilling, man. I'm looking at this countdown for the showcase. I'm ready to put my helmet on and get it going, but I'm like, let's talk real quick.
I was going to say, we got 5 minutes, and joining us also is Allegra Frank from Vox. Allegra, how you doing?
Hey, I'm really good now. Like, after Balan Wonderland, I'm with Matt. Yo, that's it. That's the end of the show for me.
We done. Yeah, no, it's nice, happy, uplifting. We need a game like that. So that was, a pretty good way to end the pre-show. And hopefully means there's even more big surprises coming in the main show. And let's talk about this. You guys are going to join us afterwards as well to react to what we see. So let's kind of get the preview. Balan Wonderland, but what else? What do you guys? Let me put it this way: what does Microsoft need to do to get an A from you watching this conference? So what's it going to take? Let's start with you, Matt.
Yeah, to me, we all know Halo Infinite is the big gem in their crown, right? Like that's the piece that they're selling, the killer app. That is their killer app. But to me, you know, as a mild Halo fan, I want to see what is the other thing that's going to get me to buy this system in particular. And if it's not a neon green skin like we saw for the earlier Xbox generations to coat that big like obelisk that you're buying with Xbox Series X, Balan Wonderland or Balan Wonderworld might have sold it for me. It looks like exactly the sort of game that I need in 2020, that the world needs in 2020, and it hits me right in the nostalgia feels. So I needed another killer app for this system, and that might have been it.
Wow. All right. You guys are done in the pre-show. I like it. There are already high marks. JD, what we know we're going to see Halo. Seems like you're sufficiently hyped if you've got your Master Chief helmet. What's it going to take to get an A from you in the post-show grade?
Well, I mean, obviously Halo. I would love for them to take Halo Infinite and use it to be showcased the same way they showcased Halo 2 from the E3 2005 world premiere. I remember that. They did the gameplay mixed in with cutscenes. And then, I mean, I believe we talked about Fable a little bit earlier. I believe Fable 4 would be great. I don't know if they've ever put out that last Fable. I'm not sure. I have to go back. And then for me personally, I want a new Matrix video game. I know that no one in the chat wants that, but hey, remember Enter the Matrix? That was fire. Remember that bullet time? Yo, bring me back. Matrix
Yeah, I remember that.
Right now.
Intersected with the movies and stuff. Yeah, all right. That's a wild prediction that we're gonna get a new Matrix. Keanu, they used Keanu last year, so you never know. Bring him back again. Allegra, I know you're excited about Balan, what they're doing. What else will it take to hype you up to an A grade in the post show?
Right. I mean, everything that's excited me in the pre-show is pretty much what I would also want in the post-show, which is interesting, sort of inventive, newer IP. Like, I'm not a big, Halo nerd or Watch Dogs or just anything with a number after it, unless it's some like bizarre number that has nothing to do with the game. Like, if it's a sequel, I'm pretty much out. But I would love to see more from Tell Me Why by Don't Nod. I would love to see some actual like gameplay and a good emphasis on that, because it really brings an interesting amount of diversity to Xbox. But in general, I like to be really surprised whether or not it's some, Final Fantasy exclusive that's making its way onto the Xbox for the first time, or just some game we've never heard of before from some small, exciting studio. I mean, that's always what wins me over. Also, Keanu Reeves, if he shows up again, I mean, that would be really great.
Hey, you never know. I think he's in Berlin filming Matrix, but hey, it's virtual, so anyone can. This thing is, this year, anyone can show up, because around the world we can connect people, and it's so different to not be with you guys, with 5,000 people at the Microsoft Theater getting to see this stuff. But we are literally just about a minute away here from going live. You guys are going to join us afterwards. You've got your Master Chief helmet. And I want to thank everyone for joining us exclusively here on YouTube for the pre-show for the Xbox event. It's going to be about 2 minutes until we go. So maybe one last quick rapid fire here. JD's got his helmet on. How do you guys think they're going to open the show? What do you think the first thing is?
Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, start with the big guns. They know that's what everyone's here for, and then everything else is kind of icing on the cake.
Allegra, do you agree, or do you want something weird and wacky idea?
It's going to be Halo, which for someone who doesn't really care about Halo, I would love, because I need a bathroom break. So, sorry, JD.
The chat just lit up. He's going to take a bathroom break during Halo. All right, but hey, we got Balan, and yeah, that's part of the fun, is that we don't know what they're going to do, and they've been very quiet. They've just said Halo, but beyond that, they've really not told us anything else about what games are going to be in there. So you said Tell Me Why, great example. Everwild, Psychonauts, those are games that we know they're making that hopefully we'll have updates on. And then I know for a fact there will be some new games announced in this showcase, and it's exciting to watch it live here on YouTube. Well, Matt, JD, Allegra, thanks for joining us. You guys are going to be with us afterwards. We're going to react to the press conference, see how Microsoft did, and then we're going to have some guests, some of the developers and some of the games featured in the show. We're going to have interviews with them, and Xbox's Aaron Greenberg will be joining us live to break down some of the news. So Enjoy it. Watch it live here. The Xbox Game Showcase, an hour of games right here on YouTube.
Opa, bora ver agora. Tô ansioso por Halo, hein? Agora sim. Tá regressivo, hein? Vamos ver. Aí. Como é que tá o áudio aí, galera? Tá meio estourado. Fala um pouquinho mais longe do microfone. Olha o Halo. É Halo, será? Caramba, que doido.
Exosuit is now complete. Even though this technology will save humanity in the war to come, I must remind myself,
Armadura. Caralho, que doido.
crystal cannot rise on its own. Titanium alloy cannot prevail in the face of extinction. Armor cannot hope. It all means nothing.
Aí, porra.
You step inside.
Olha o Halo Infinite aí. Cara, velho, abertura. Doido, né?
Am I dead already? I must be. I mean, this is a punishment, right?
Cara.
Yep, this is death.
Nossa.
No. This isn't happening. I'm going to have to make an emergency landing. Hold on, shit.
Nossa. Deu merda.
No. No. You can't stand this. No, you. Breathe. No. You don't get to tell me what to do. You don't get to tell me anything. We're... Are you even listening?
I count 3 anti-aircraft cannons.
3 what?
You'll be safe here.
Oh, I'll be safe. Safe? I haven't been safe since I found you.
O Mega Gun me prende o jogo.
You were out there on your own, and you'd still be out there if it wasn't for me. I thought I was going home.
There won't be a home if we don't stop the Banished.
You keep saying that. We're outgunned, outnumbered. I know I saw Clone Wars over there. I'm going to
Ué,
take
tá bugando na live?
the working sleep space drive. And when you're done with this war, we'll get away from here. Far away.
Wait here.
Ué, a live tá bugada. O vídeo, né?
Peace and find.
First, when I get back, we can look. Together.
Trava, mas parou. A gameplay. Nossa. Tá legal. Parece Halo Reach. Ah, o gráfico tá maneiro. F de Minecraft tá não, pô. Só se quiser. É, talvez a qualidade da live não seja muito boa, né? Pra mim que tô vendo aqui tá bom. Arma nova também. Doido. Como que tá a live aí? Caralho. Maluco morreu. O que você tá achando aí, galera? A fidelidade de fundo? Tá achando pra mim, tá parecendo mais Halo Reach, velho. Sei lá.
Lost this war months ago. Your
Parece que tá legal.
broken, scattered, hunted, defeated by me. I wish
Na moral, mano, tá a mesma coisa. Porra, não vou trocar meu Xbox, não.
we are
É, eu também não tenho muita diferença, não, mano.
always
Vamos ver quando lançar lá, né?
is already under our control. Soon, the
certeza eu vou jogar.
The Harbinger and the Banished share the same goal. We fight together to honor the will of Atriox. But without challenge, I grew weary, lost, alone.
Como tá o áudio aí? Caralho, bicho feio. Que isso?
Last fight. True test of legends. Our story will outlive us both.
Ah, com certeza vai ser 4K 60.
Set a fire in your heart, Spartan. Bare your fangs. Fight hard. Die well.
Otimizado Series X.
We hope you enjoyed your first look at Halo Infinite's campaign. I'm incredibly proud of the team at 343, and we're thrilled to share a hint
Eu achei normal, sei lá.
that await you on the next chapter of Master Chief's journey.
Que bom.
This is the most ambitious campaign we've ever created at 343.
Porque talvez a qualidade da live não tá muito boa.
Freedom to explore a
E pra mim tá bom.
Halo ring that's several times larger than our last two Halo games combined.
Tô usando um pouco o bitrate, velho. Minha internet aqui é mesmo, hein?
Ground up to take full advantage of Xbox Series X. Bigger battles, epic vistas, more complex visual effects, displayed with 10 times
Ah, já chegou um sonichinho aí, ó.
pixel of Halo 5. This will be running at a flawless 60 frames per second and will allow us to bring the Halo ring to life in ways that have never been.
A ver sonício pra falar umas merdas
Look
dessas.
forward to sharing even more about Halo Infinite
Certeza.
in the coming month, including the first look at multiplayer. And now, please enjoy a glimpse of what others in the Xbox Game Studios family have been working on.
World premiere.
Galera, vou buscar comida ali pra mim e já volto. Agora não almocei. Rapidão. Já volto aí.
Welcome everyone to the Xbox Game Showcase. Today, we're showing games from 9 of our 15 Xbox Game Studios, including unveils of 5 new first-party games. What you will see today is how Xbox Game Studios are harnessing their passions to bring their dreams to life. We believe that how you find and play your games is as important as the device you play them on. Xbox Game Pass is the best way to discover and play, and we want you to be able to experience as many great games as possible. So Game Pass members, you can play every game you see today from your subscription or free to play. these games will look and play best on Xbox Series X, delivering unmatched fidelity, performance, precision, and immersion. And we've designed the most consistently powerful next-generation console. And we've built state-of-the-art platform technology to allow every developer to realize their full vision. One studio that has always pushed the limits of our hardware is Turn 10. And they're early in development on the next Forza Motorsport. And Xbox Series X is bringing them closer to their dream of unprecedented realism with ray tracing and native 4K resolution, all at 60 frames per second. The trailer you're about to see was captured completely in-engine.
World premiere.
Our world has a rhythm. We all sense it. But only a few truly feel it. It is found in the smallest moments. In every step of a perilous journey. In the symmetry of ritual. In the bonds we share. And in moments of stillness. It teaches us to look beyond the expected. To be a light in dark places. To seek answers. And to stand watch over our world. Our world has a rhythm. We all sense it. But only a few truly feel it.
Everwild will give to you a magical and untamed natural world for you to explore and to just truly lose yourself in. It's a place to be eternal. And Eternal has the gift to sense and feel how magic flows through nature, makes every living. The team here at Rare are so excited to be working on something like Everwild. And I hope you're excited too. But I just want to take this opportunity to say a massive, massive thank you to everyone who's shown their support and love, and for the incredible awesome, positive community that's already growing around this game. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Whoa, I just got hit with a flood of memories.
Love you, Mom.
You seeing what I'm seeing?
Mom?
Allison?
Yeah. It doesn't matter that they don't believe us.
We all believed that what happened that night was self-defense. But we couldn't be sure.
It doesn't matter that they kept us apart.
Brother, sister, we look out for each other.
It doesn't matter that finding the truth feels impossible.
We're all done with fairy tales.
The only thing that matters is you're my brother. And the only way to move forward is to keep looking back.
We've been getting these visions whenever we see or hear something really emotional. Everything we thought we knew about Marianne just got thrown out the window.
She loved you. She attacked you. We both saw it.
I thought coming here would be closing a chapter of our lives.
Nothing good comes from stirring up old memories.
We don't really have a choice about that.
There's always a choice, son.
I can't do this. Stop!
Hey everyone, my name is Gennady. I'm the co-founder and director of technology at Moon Studios. Today we're very excited to tell you that we're working on a very special version of Ori and the Will of the Wisps, specifically for Xbox Series X. We are now at a time where we can reach levels of fidelity and frame rates previously absolutely impossible on any console. An already gorgeous game like Ori can now run at 120 Hz refresh rate in full 4K HDR in its highest quality, delivering unprecedented game feel with silky smooth animation, super crisp, sharp image, and low input latency, which is just so important for the tight and precise platforming feel of this game. We can also boost the immersion in different spaces in our world by using premium audio tech that we previously just could not simulate in real time. And with all of this crazy hardware power, we can give our players more options with how they want to play our game. We can't wait for all of you to experience this very special version of Ori coming to Xbox Series X with smart delivery later this year.
From the furthest reaches of the universe comes the biggest mystery in the galaxy.
An abandoned research facility, and now shady corporate intrigue.
Marvel of the Gorgon asteroid. A sordid stopover, full of salacious secrets and scandalous strangers.
Greetings, attractive patron. You are looking right on today.
With the right face,
They wanted us to develop a miracle drug.
can put you on the wrong side of a gun. Or sword. Or this thing. Thrills. Danger. Intrigue.
A word of advice before you go, Captain? Trust no one.
What will fine on Gorgon.
This internet cannot be drinks parent state.
If you're waiting for the biggest game of the year, then wait for Cyberpunk. But if you're ready for the smallest, we've got you covered. From Obsidian Entertainment, the makers of games that are nothing like this one. This summer, strive together to thrive together. Or just feed your friend to the spiders and go solo.
At Obsidian, we're dedicated to pushing narrative and role-playing games. It's something we do every day when we come to the office, and we can't wait for you to play our next great adventure, Peril on Gorgon. It's the first of 2 planned story expansion packs for the Outer Worlds that we're putting together with our friends from the Private Division. Now, it's also important that we continue to evolve how we tell stories in games, and Grounded is the perfect example of that. The team has been working for the last 2 years on how to tell an Obsidian story within a survival game. Now, what's great is that you're going to be able to play the game on July 28th on Xbox Game Preview and on Steam Early Access. We want to hear from you, and we want to continue to build Grounded together. Oh yeah, if you've been wondering, we have working on that next RPG. Check this out.
World premiere.
We have always known war. It forged our empire, turned heroes into queens and kings, and decimated our foes. Now our oaths are lost, forsaken. And you must face the monsters our sins have borne. Is an oath worth the weight of a crown?
Avowed is an expansive first-person RPG set in the fantasy world of Eora. When Obsidian Entertainment joined Xbox Game Studios, they told us that this epic game is the one they want to make. As creators of critically acclaimed RPGs, this is Obsidian at their best, and it is being built from the ground up to take full advantage of the power of Xbox Series X. At Xbox Game Studios, we also work with independent developers, always with the goal of empowering them to bring their ideas to life. I'm excited to announce our work with Interior Night, a new studio led by some of the most talented storytellers in our industry. Let's meet Caroline Marchal, studio head of Interior Night, to debut their original game.
Bonjour. I'm Caroline from Interior Night. Our team is really passionate
about storytelling. Because when you play a story, you step into the character's shoes. You get to experience their fears, their hopes, their conflicts firsthand. And in the process, you learn more about yourself. And this is quite powerful. Our first game spans 30 years in the American Southwest. It's a story about family, resilience, and sacrifice. But most of all, it's about how you will shape the fate of real, flawed people trying to find their way in a world they don't fit in. I hope you enjoyed the trailer.
World premiere.
Fortune, smiling fate. I haven't seen you much of late. I need you now, cannot wait. But when I look, you're not around.
We were on our way to start a new life that summer. For our family, it was just a stopover.
For mine, it was the end of the road.
On the ground, now!
The sun went down on all of us that day. Was it fate? Coincidence? No. It was a long-forgotten secret, buried in the dark.
All my life, I've been scared of the shadows. But now, I'm finally ready to step into the light.
Aí voltei, galera.
I got your
Tá almoçando ali e tá acompanhando também lá. O que vocês estão achando aí?
Here at Ninja Theory, we're hard at work on all of our projects, including Senua's
Hellblade.
Hellblade 2, which we announced at the Game Awards back in December. An incredible 3.5 million players have now experienced Senua's story in Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. We're excited to start giving you an insight into what comes from Celtic Warrior, an experience that we'll be building in Unreal Engine 5 for Xbox Series X and PC. I'm happy to reveal today that Senua's Saga will be set in the beautiful
Esse canal principal. Não entendi muita pergunta, não.
About our location scouting and how we've discovered the history of our setting in a brand new behind-the-scenes development diary, which you can view straight after the show on the Ninja Theory YouTube channel.
Aí, deixa o like aí, galera. 33 likes só. Bateu 50 likes aí.
It's been so touching to see the impact that Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice has had on so many players, and we're incredibly thankful to all of the fans that have been part of Senua's story so far. And we're excited for you to be part of our development journey from here on out.
Achei que era o canal do Xbox Mil Grau. Então, mano, pra quem quiser acompanhar o XDzinho, ele tá na The Live. Só pesquisar na The Live da XDzinho. O XDZ é foda, pô. Tá 5.500 pessoas lá. Na The Live, o cara é foda.
Oh, Peter, fantastic work. Love the song.
I want to live there. Very much.
It's gonna be fun to sing it. Now it's time to rock. Shall we start rocking?
Já chegou um cara chorando ali já.
Since you've had a visitor.
Meu Deus do céu.
I hope you don't mind pop-ins. Where are we?
Shh. It's a quiet place.
Lost alone, neither skin nor bone. Just a thought is all I've got. Now my
vai perdi o Forza.
at the bottom of a lake, a frozen feeling. When my friends pulled me back up, I started.
Manda o endereço do desenho, está fazendo live? Manda oi. Calma aí. Ei, live, tá quase 6.000 pessoas assistindo lá. Cara, tava mais seus por Halo mesmo. Halo e Forza. Eu achei foda.
Senses are the magic keys.
Ah, eu mandei o link da live dela aí, ó. Minha net tá travando? Sei. Oh, o monstro aí.
We can't wait for you to experience the amazing games built by Xbox Game Studios, and there is just so much more for you to play on Xbox. We are partnering with thousands of creators, from the largest publishers to the smallest independent developers, to bring you the broadest variety of games ever. There is one developer in particular that is close to us, not just geographically, but in history too. I'm thrilled to announce that this fall, our friends at Bungie will bring Destiny 2 to Xbox Series X and Xbox Game Pass. If you are one of the more than 10 million
Opa, parece que passou o guias ali.
You also get access to all current Destiny 2 expansions starting this September. For Game Pass Ultimate members, Destiny 2 will
Mas a conta vai chegar, né?
on mobile
Meu Deus do céu.
from the cloud.
Cara doente.
Later this year, Bungie will also release a new version of Destiny 2 that is optimized for Xbox Series X. 4K resolution running at 60 frames per second. Here's an all-new look at Bungie's Destiny 2 Beyond Light.
I've seen
Que jogo é esse? Aqui é isso? Que é isso?
in the darkness. Every moment brings them closer. It's time to step beyond the light.
Ah, Destiny 2.
This is Destiny 2 that you can play any way you want thanks to Xbox Game Pass. Some of the world's most inspired developers are working on games for Xbox Series X, and we're just honored to be able to collaborate with them. Xbox Series X will empower both new and experienced
Caralho, o sistema por dentro,
the
é.
future of games to
Doido.
life like never before. Unique perspectives, unexpected
Doido,
innovations,
doido.
and fresh voices that demand to be heard and that we can't wait for you to discover. All of the games
com
you're
isso?
about to see are being built to launch exclusively on Xbox consoles. Thanks and enjoy.
World premiere.
Console launch exclusivo? É isso. Mas que é isso? Ixi, minha noite tá zoada. Nem sei que jogo é isso.
World premiere.
Esse fake tá muito fraco. 2 likezinhos só. Achei que tem mais choro. Muito fraco. Valeu. Que jogo aí. Como que tá minha voz aí? Pra mim no OBS tá um pouquinho estourada.
Prime and begun our investigations. Our recon squad has been sent into sub-level 6 of the Hive to determine the full extent of the unrest. I'll know more when they make it back. If they make it back.
World premiere.
Mandei a live do Dezinho, todo mundo foi pra lá. Ai, ai.
Something changed, my heart could not contain the miracle of this world and all that it creates. With every passing day, the winds might grow stronger and carry us away, but we will hold on.
Que é isso, velho? O cara parece cada hora. Meu Deus do céu. Mesma coisa, velho. Passou ali. Caralho, tá travando. Ela tá uma merda aqui, galera. Meu Deus do céu. É, eu também achei foda.
World Premiere.
Vê se esse vai ser bom também.
Approaching orbit. Scans a no-go. Sure you want to drop here? Hell yeah. Already laced it.
Esse jogo aí.
What we got? Another good-for-nothing space rock?
Whoa. Hold on, let me check.
Find anything good?
Vex, you're not gonna believe this. Ouch! What the?
Curti muito esse jogo aí não. É meio estranho. Agora tava mais esperando, já mostrou mesmo. O Halo Forza. Ah, vai sair por Windows PC também. E pro Xbox One também.
It all starts with a dead girl. A forest. The moon. Scent of pines. And then the gunshot. Every story has two sides. A regular, rational one, but also a darker and deeper truth. Not unlike a nightmare. I can see both. Worse, I can link them.
Que jogo aí?
Hello? Anyone there?
What is this place?
Cara, que isso? Aí vai sair PC, Xbox Series X e PC.
World Premiere.
Pá.
Detective. Calm down, dude. Okay.
Luis Torres, I've seen your future. Global risk is death of the weapon you will become.
Destiny chose me to save this world. I will see it done.
Blacklist, we make our own path. We protect our own.
Can you protect me from fate?
Seconds.
We got company.
Soon, the entire world will burn, all because of him.
The ghost is here!
Today, you saw 10 world premieres and 22 console launch exclusives. Game Pass members can play every game you have seen today from Xbox Game Studios and all of our partners in the subscription or free to play. This is just a peek at some of the new titles coming to Xbox Series X. And some of the games you already love and some you have yet to play will also be optimized for Xbox Series X. Games like Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5, and Sea of Thieves. You'll get the next-gen upgrades at no additional cost when they launch. You can expect a lineup of over 100 titles for Xbox Series X this holiday season. With Series X and Game Pass, Xbox is the place to play, and you are at the center of everything we do. Now, you may have noticed we didn't get to visit all of our Xbox Game Studios today. That means we'll have more to share later this year. But until then, here's one more thing.
World premiere.
The world is filled with stories of legendary heroes and treacherous villains, of fantastical creatures and wondrous places where nature and magic live in perfect harmony. Not all stories have happy endings. but yours has yet to be written.
All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Xbox Game Showcase post-show. There you go, the announcement of a brand new Fable and our first look at the gameplay of Halo Infinite. We now have a post-show with some developers joining us, as well as Aaron Greenberg from Xbox. Luke Smith from Bungie is going to be with us as well. Tim Schafer, and much more. And of course, we want your reactions to hear what you guys think. I just posted a poll on Twitter. How would you grade Xbox in the press conference and what they did? We want to hear your opinion on it and what Xbox showed across their entire portfolio. One interesting thing, everything they showed today was an Xbox Game Pass game, which, you know, is pretty impressive that all those titles are going to be on Game Pass. But of course, they're probably games that you wanted to see there that you may not have seen. So we want to hear what people think, but we've got our panel now to react to everything, to tell us what they thought. You heard leading in what their expectations were. Everyone was excited about the Balan announcement in the pre-show. How did Xbox do in the main show? Well, let's welcome them back again. We've got Matt, Pat, JD, and Allegra fresh off the live showcase. We were all watching it. So I've done a lot of talking. Matt, let's start with you. What did you think?
I thought, you know, Jeff, I think you had some of the biggest announcements. So the conference itself, I'd give it like B+. The pre-show where you announced Balan Wonderland, you showed a brief clip of 12 minutes. Hello Neighbor 2, which I kind of hate that whole franchise. I have a whole history with it, but I appreciate that it was there. You know, I got to say the pre-show pushed it into A territory for me. Infinite looked great. I was glad to see that it wasn't just like an Infinite pay-to-play kind of game where there's an actual storyline, that there's an actual campaign that you're going to play through. The Forza graphics really showed off the power of the console, and I'm not even a graphics guy. So yeah, across the board, like there was a lot of CGI cutscenes, there was a lot of, you know, not in-game moments, but I was really excited. I thought they did a solid job of showing off the breadth of it, and the true winner outside of the pre-show is Game Pass. I think they see where the future is headed. They see that that's going to be their big money maker, get people to try a lot of these games and hop aboard the subscription train. I think it's a smart move on their part, and that's the winner of this press conference.
Yep. I agree. No, it is pretty impressive that all those games are going to be in Game Pass. Allegra, you wanted some surprises, some weird, whimsical, fun games on it. Halo. I don't know if it's so. You had your bathroom break, but I don't know if you got to catch a little bit of it at the end there. But what was your overall impression of what they did? I think one thing that a lot of people online were saying, they wanted to see the power of that next gen box. Where they were taking kind of games and graphics, as Matt said. Definitely some CG teasers in there for State of Decay, Fable, whatnot. What grabbed your attention? How would you grade what they did?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely did take my bathroom break during Halo. I feel like when I came back, it was still going. So I'm glad you guys got, your infinite amounts of Halo. Haha. I thought there was actually a good mix of games that are both going to be coming out soon, and then games obviously that are very much in the works. We have no real idea of when we'll see them. So, that game Grounded, I thought looked kind of cool, especially that it's coming out in the summer. I was happy to see that Tell Me Why, the first chapter, would be coming out in August. I mean, it's always great that, when an event has games that we can actually anticipate with a concrete end date. But I also was really impressed that there was a good focus on original games. I was really excited to see the As Dusk Falls trailer. I thought that looked really great. And Everwild looks amazing. That game is really beautiful. A lot of great games with wonderful art design. But yeah, I mean, I think in terms of showing off the new console, it seemed as though a lot of the games that we saw are compatible with the Xbox One as well, or we just saw, as you totally mentioned, CG teasers. But the Ori, I guess, upgrade for Xbox Series X looks amazing. Like, that looked fantastic. So that was a really cool little teaser for what to kind of expect from the new console, even if it's an existing game, just kind of redone for Series X.
So what letter grade would you give them here?
I don't believe in letter grades. I'm one of those unschooling people. Yeah, we don't do letter grades. I mean, I'd probably give it
thumbs up or down, or how do you like to judge?
No, I mean, I would, if I'm going to adhere to the Jeff Keighley scale, I would say probably B+ as well. I actually thought it was, there was a good breadth and diversity of games shown. Game Pass was definitely the star of the show, as you guys mentioned, and I think it's cool that they're leaning into that program.
Yep, absolutely. All right, JD, you put your Master Chief helmet aside. We got to see a lot of Chief. I thought that opening kind of CG lead into the Halo piece was so beautiful. I mean, it was epic. When you actually got to see the game and the gameplay, and that was a real demo. I mean, they said, press here to play the demo. What was your takes? Halo back?
I love Halo, and I've beaten all the previous games and all the side games minus the Halo War series. I'm not a top-down guy, but I'm one of those people who's watching it and I'm like, wait, I'm confused on the story. That's the one thing that's kind of throwing me right now. I mean, I'm just gonna wait and see what happens. But I like the gameplay. We have a grappling hook. I'm a fan. We're like Spider-Man now with a gun, so I'm excited about that. And I'm also excited about the other games that we saw. State of Decay 3. I've never been more scared of deers. Bambi's not going to be the same anymore. Regardless of that, Fable at the end. I didn't think that was going to happen, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So they touched on that. I think we got a lot of decent stuff. Letter grade wise, I give it a B. I give it a B+ A-. It was one of the things where they're showing you what they're capable of. We're all aware that the console is going to be very powerful. Everybody wants to know when it's coming out and when we can expect it and when we can put pre-orders in. But from what I saw, I enjoyed it. I think they came swinging.
Yeah, no, and as everyone's mentioned, Game Pass will obviously allow you to play across multiple devices as well. So as you said, it's their philosophy is not all about getting you to upgrade to Series X, right? It's sort of like even you have a PC now or a phone or, even an existing Xbox, looked like everything in that showcase will be on Game Pass and also be available potentially on the device you already have. So it's less of a story of get you to upgrade to the new machine. That said, Matt, when you look at that, this fall you gotta buy one first, or maybe buy both, but PlayStation or Xbox, like how is it? Did it do enough to convince you like this should be in first position for you?
Honestly, that's the question that I was asking myself the entire time watching the conference, and I gotta say, Xbox sold me on the need for it being next gen more than PlayStation. And I feel bad saying that because I think last generation I skewed more into PS5 or PS4 territory.
Right.
But I really love the games that they showcased. I love the fact that they're really diving into the ID at Microsoft program and some of those indie ideas that are kind of you see surfacing and you're starting to see them kind of bubble up and get more of a spotlight. I love the emphasis that they have on that. And, they do have a lot of big titles that, are coming down the pipeline. And I know that you think we're joking, Jeff, about Balan Wonderworld, but I gotta say that I felt so emotional watching them talk about that game and seeing that style of gameplay in a way that I haven't felt about a lot of games in a long time. And like it seems so dumb, but I'm so excited off of just that short little bit that you played before the whole thing started. Like that.
It's a pre-show. Pre-show gets an A, as you said.
Enough to sell the system. Seriously.
All right, I like it, Pat Balan. That's the no. I said I think there was a whimsy and it's just he said, and Yuji Naka coming back doing that. I think he said like I love that game where the world needs a little bit more of that, right? And a few less zombies and a few less guns and just kind of fun and musical and whatnot. I agree. Allegra, out of all the things that you saw, was there anything that you didn't see that you wanted to see? We got a little bit of a tease of Fable. I mean, not a lot of info, I think, in that. I'm sure fans can maybe pull apart some things, but it's sort of Playground's making a Fable, which we kind of already knew in some form. Was there anything that you were like disappointed that you didn't see?
I think I sort of mentioned before, I always love to see that really big wow surprise of, oh, wow, we're getting, Sony exclusive showing up on a Microsoft platform for the first time. I'm thinking about when they announced Final Fantasy 15 would be on the Xbox. So we didn't really get anything quite like that, where it's very, unpredictable or even shocking, which I really thrive on those moments. I think we all kind of do. So it didn't really have the big wow showstopper moment for me.
I would agree. No, I think that's the thing. As you said, there was kind of things we knew, and yes, there's a new Forza coming. I guess probably the biggest surprise might have been, Obsidian's Avowed, which is at least, reveal of a new game. But he said that's expected. They're a first-party studio. They make RPGs, so they're making another one. But you're right. Wasn't some, there were rumors before of like, oh, there's going to be a Ninja Gaiden, or there'll be other, other things. And even on the third-party side, one thing I think was notable is that every game in there was on Game Pass. I think that meant a lot of games weren't included because they might not be on Game Pass. So people were, wondering like, where was Cyberpunk? Where was Elden Ring, and things like that, and all these big expectations. But it was more focused on the first party sort of studios overall. I'm curious to get your take, like in the environment we're in this year, out of all the games that were there and Game Pass, is that changing how you guys are going to play games or thinking about games? We're in this world where these live service games are out there. As you said, effectively with that, you're never going to have to pay $60 to play any of those games. Do you think, is that going to change how we play games moving forward? Because it is a bit of a difference in philosophy to sort of other platforms, that it's more Netflix-like, and that you're going to get to sample a bunch of games. Is Game Pass, is it changing how you guys are playing games now, or do you think it's going to change moving forward?
I mean, I definitely think it's a really smart initiative that Microsoft has and that it owns. I mean, Sony has PS Now, but like LOL, right? So, and Nintendo doesn't quite have anything like that other than NES and SNES Online. So Microsoft really owns the streaming, but for games side of the industry. And I think people are attracted to it, and the fact that it really is pushing it so hard. I think it's going to be something that might become industry standard that Sony and Nintendo will have to react to for the next generation, which is really interesting, I think. And encouraging people to sample a ton of games definitely is an appealing sort of pitch. And I know I froze there for a second, but I'm back.
Yeah, to me,
that's okay.
It's so pro-consumer. It gives the power back to the player, right? Where, for a long time, I mean, in the early days, old man Matt Pat here, you could rent games, right? You could see, if you could beat it in a period of days or if it was a game that you wanted to kind of pursue. And there's been this kind of like nebulous area where you either have to kind of fully commit to the game or not for a really long time. There hasn't been kind of a good solution since that era, really. And like there's been ideas here and there, but what this does is it allows players to sample such a huge variety of different games, really find games that interest them, and also there's no risk and no cost to try things that you might not have played otherwise, right? And so, hey, you might have grown up as a first-person shooter guy, but wow, that indie game is just available right there. Let me check it out because I saw someone on YouTube play it or my friends talked about it or whatever. Suddenly you're drawn into a whole other world of gaming that, who knows, you might like and want to explore and find, you know, your new favorite title in. And I think that is so exciting. I think it's so forward-facing. And like I said, I think it puts the hands, the power back in the hands of the player, as well as giving so many more studios a chance to have their work seen by more people, which I think is good all across the board.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think that's just it. I look at some of those games in there, Tell Me Why or Psychonauts, or games that people might, you know, not necessarily buy right out of the game.
Aí, voltei aqui, galera.
They're like, hey, I can experiment with it.
Tava conversando um negócio com meu amigo.
Might get hooked and have more stuff to play. JD, are you fine?
Ixi, chegou o Sonichinho chorando aqui, velho.
$60.
Delícia, cara.
That's coming in Game Pass. So does that open you up to, do you think, playing more of these games than normal?
Yeah, definitely with Game Pass and
Legal.
just the option to stream games. I mean, you know, I'm looking forward to what the future has when it comes to being able to do that, because like most people, I have Game Pass as well.
Chegaram chorão aqui.
If it's just a simple download compared to maybe, I don't know, getting like the limited edition box set or a physical copy.
Eu nem vou ficar respondendo esses caras, mas esses caras é tudo lixo.
To hop online and play with friends. And I feel like just that whole concept of Game Pass being able to, you know, stream games simultaneously.
Ah, vai pedir o resto dos jogos que mostraram.
Having that type of freedom will make things easier for future gamers so that they can open.
Ah, deixa o dislike aí, seu Nistinho.
Fun with it. But I wanted to say to you and Matt, hey, going back to our deadlock debate.
Achei que ainda dá mais choro.
Is hype killing video games? Remember that?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good.
Chorista. Só fica chorando, velho. Esse cara tá jogando.
No, I mean, look, there's
Meu Deus do céu.
there's a whole there's a hype cycle to this stuff where we saw a lot of, you know, CG trailers for games that are probably years off.
Cara, só fica chorando na minha live.
One thing a lot of people did say, I saw in the chat and online, and people were like, they want to see more gameplay, right? We got to see a Halo demo, but everything else was like a very tightly wound trailer. And I think we're in an age now, people just want to see Let's Play, just, you know, see games. And you do wonder, like, that Fable teaser, like, you don't
Reclama, vai.
the game at all, right? And it's sort of like it's a fancy logo sequence. And now it's like people are like, when do we wait to actually see the game? So did you guys see, it's a good question.
Cara, velho, que choro pra caralho.
Gameplay? Like, is it the style of the presentation? And, you know, the event in
Tá
May,
dando choro.
people criticized them for saying it was gameplay and it wasn't. And, you know, this felt it was a more polished presentation overall and how they presented it. But it's a good question, even compared to...
Bora aí, Panezinho. Deixa o dislike aí.
They couldn't do
Pegar
that.
pelo menos 10 dislike aí,
It's
Panezinho.
a good approximation. Like, what did you think of how they delivered the news?
I
Matt,
think for
start
me
with you.
at this point, for these big events and these big conferences, I'm so used to just seeing
Pois é, velho. Meu Deus do céu, velho, esses caras.
a little bit more. The nice thing about
Você viu o tanto de jogo que eles têm, né? Eles têm tanto jogo que eles nem jogam. Só fica em live de Xbox enchendo o saco.
with our pretty title card, and then you can
Uma
roll
piada
it
esse negócio.
and actually get some hands-on time with whatever
Falando que o jogo parece filme, né? Acho uma piada esse negócio. Deve ser ironia, mano.
you have, and you can actually get.
Não
a
tem
feel
como.
of what the game is. I am missing.
Meu Deus do
that,
céu.
and it is a shame that doesn't exist this
E é com isso.
That being said, you know, I think
Nem vou responder esses caras, mas não cansei.
it's one of those things that, like, I wish I could have seen more, since you're kind of missing that component of it, but we're all doing the best that we can considering the world circumstances. I'm honestly just impressed that both of these consoles are still able to come out this year, considering all the
Engraçado que os filminhos da Sony ninguém reclama, né? Ah, entendi.
coming from a different part of the world, and you know, factors
Beleza,
that haven't
então.
worked for a long time. There's been a lot of changes to the system, so I'm just still excited that this is still a year where gaming is stepping
Eu vi ninguém reclamando dos filmes da Sony lá.
and that everything didn't have to get shifted to 2021. And so I'm more forgiving this year than I think I would be other years.
Yep. No, I think that's a good point. And even with the expectations for some of these announcements and press conferences, you said games are being built, work from home. And I say to
Bonezinho, vergonha.
the best anyone can do is a B this year just because of like the challenging circumstances we're in. But a lot of the fans think, hey, no, I want all my announcements. And as you said, it's been really hard to make games and make these trailers. Allegra, what about, we're all watching these from home.
Caraca, vai amassar mais alguma coisa que eu nem sei.
You didn't have the surprise.
Tive que sair,
the audible wow in the audience, right? And the energy of Keanu, showing up as a surprise last year and things like that. How did you think of how Xbox presented their story in this format this year?
I think they did a good job considering the circumstances. I'm a big Nintendo person, and so I'm pretty accustomed to the Nintendo Direct format at this point, where it is that sort of presentation. There's no interactive or live component. So it doesn't feel as odd to me to see something like this, but I did appreciate, having developers and
imagina o dia que esse Bonezinho chorando lá no The Live. Meu Deus do céu, velho.
It does feel different though.
O choro deve estar lindo lá.
That actual in-person energy. I think we all, as we have all said, we do miss that. We do miss being able to really react all together live. So it's a little less fun to have to do that at home by yourself, but it's not completely, out of the realm of implausibility that we would have to stay at home and watch these. Nintendo's been doing that for years now.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, different format, but as Matt said, I think it would be great to be.
Jogar PlayStation, esse negócio é mais grave que tudo.
The demo looks great. Let's jump in and play it, which I know JD would be there for, but hopefully.
Dá muito choro usar esse negócio.
It still says holiday 2020. We didn't see multiplayer. Holidays coming soon, right? I think that's what's interesting with a lot of these.
O maior crime que existe.
Are they really going to make it?
Meu
what are they going to look like? And it's, there are big games coming this holiday that we didn't see. Assassins we saw at the Ubisoft event. Cyberpunk, probably one
of the coisa que eu tô assistindo os caras chorando por causa de doação de joguinho.
We didn't see that, and that potentially could be one of the biggest games for Xbox. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate you dropping by. Seems like positive grades across the board. Yes, Matt?
Jeff, meu moderador. Moderador não apareceu na live hoje.
This is the question that's still, I think, on everyone's mind.
Moderador deve estar dormindo.
Xbox, who's going to break first?
Moderador tivesse de banir esses caras tudo.
And, can you hear me at least?
The Nintendo ninjas got mad.
It goes to Matt Pat. The battery went out, I think.
Damn it. Who's going to break first? And that's my question.
Okay, well, that's a good point.
Deixa eu tá acabando também.
We'll let Matt recharge his battery, thanks to Allegra and JD. But yes, you're right. The price is definitely a big question mark around the different systems. There's obviously rumors that there could be a second kind of version of Xbox Series X, codenamed Lockhart, that there's been a lot of rumors about. PlayStation has already revealed that there's going to be an all-digital PS5 and the full system. But you're right, the date and also the price of these systems, when are we going to get to find out what they're going to cost?
Eu olhei se o Halo Infinite vai sair pro PC também.
Didn't hear anything about hardware today, which we weren't expecting to. Xbox kind of moved expectations that we.
Alguém viu aí, galera? Se vai sair o Halo Infinite para PC? Mostrou lá?
But that's probably one of the next phases. And the thing now this year, without the big E3 events, I think these companies are spreading their news out a little bit. And we've seen that with Summer Game Fest. I expect we're going to see more events.
Só o PlayStation agora é crime.
PlayStation in the coming months to share additional news. So even Ubisoft did their Ubisoft.
Nossa, eu quero lançar vídeo do quebrando o PlayStation 2. Vai dar choro pra caralho, velho.
We're going to have kind of more frequent cadence.
PlayStation quebra tudo.
The summer. But this obviously
quero ver o choro mesmo.
The bigger Xbox.
Tudo é lindo demais.
A lot of games and content across the board. So thanks again
to
Allegra and JD for joining us. And now we've got some special guests to talk about all the content and answer your questions. And joining us right now.
Eu vou quebrar, vou postar foto dele lá na comunidade.
Disclosed location.
Acompanha lá, galera.
Xbox's Aaron Greenberg to talk about all the news that Xbox shared inside of the press briefing today, including Halo Infinite.
Ainda que não estou sem webcam, que senão eu mostro o PlayStation que eu vou quebrar aqui.
Marketing for all the Xbox first-party games. So there were a lot of first-party games today.
Imagina o choro que vai dar isso aqui.
With Halo Infinite and the reveal of a new Fable as well coming from Playground Games. So there he is. It is Halo shirt. Aaron Greenberg, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's good to be with you, Jeff. I wish we were in LA at E3 and
Ó, o cara com a camisa do Halo.
you guys were saying, letting people get hands on, but it's just good to have the show done and everything worked. And it's nice to see fans and partners and everyone reacting pretty positively.
Yeah, no, this was a big moment. I know you and the team worked really hard to to get all the games ready for today under these insane conditions to develop these titles. But let's start off with the shirt that you're wearing and Halo Infinite. We got to see a beautiful kind of story piece and then a real demo of the gameplay of Halo Infinite. And it definitely looks like the team is kind of going back to the roots of Halo, though adding some new things like the grappling hook.
Oh, Halo.
Tell us a bit about what did you guys want to communicate with this demo of Halo? We've obviously seen some trailers before, but this was raw gameplay. What do you hope fans took away from this demo?
Yeah, I mean, I think for many people, whether you're new to the franchise or existing fans, I think we all remember the Halo.
Jogabilidade parecendo o Halo Reach aí, né, galera?
This is a spiritual reboot of that. And so how do we kind of take the OG Halo and modernize it? And I think what you've seen is the benefit of things like the Slipstream engine, Halo's take on an open and expansive world, seeing additions with things like the grappling hook. And, it's
O que vocês acharam do Halo aí?
And I think that I think the team at 343 has done a great job creating the Halo game that I think the world needs right now, and more than anything. And so that's been the focus. We've been anxious to let people see Halo, true gameplay, big campaign demo. That's what we opened the show.
O carro parece do Halo 2.
And team's working hard, and we're excited to get this in the hands of fans this holiday.
Yeah, we obviously saw, Xbox Series X gameplay on that. One thing that, is unique this time is that this Halo game will, it will work on your Xbox, it'll work on your PC. Can you maybe explain sort of like what the team is going to be able to do with Series X with that game that will be sort of, take it to the next level beyond sort of it working on the current systems? And I'm sure it's a challenge to make it work across everything, but I know Phil Spencer said it's going to be more PC-like and that it will be optimized for, higher powered machines. Tell us maybe a bit about like when you have.
Vai terminar a live, não sei se eu vou deixar privada, se eu vou deixar público. Vou ver.
Really show off Series X.
Yeah, I mean, what you're going to see from our first-party teams is that they're developing these games natively for Xbox Series X. So they're going to first focus on getting the most power, the most performance out of that. So this will take full advantage of all the benefits of Series X. You're right, the 12 teraflops, the instant gaming you get from the SSD, the instant switching. You can see the lighting, a lot of the benefits from the engine. So the more expansive worlds, just tons and tons of benefits there. With that said, we want to create a game that Xbox One fans can also play, that PC gamers can also play. And I think as you've seen what Phil outlined in his Player First post recently, is that we want our fans this holiday to be able to play Halo wherever they want to play it. And whenever they're ready to upgrade to next gen, we will give them the Xbox Series X upgrade of Halo Infinite at no additional cost. By the way, if you're a Game Pass member, you get the game at launch, but we're building this game.
Isso vai mostrar mais games aqui, acho que não.
If you get it in Game Pass, you can play it on Xbox One, on the PC, and on Series X, and you never get charged more than once for a game, whether you buy it or get it in the subscription.
One thing that's sort of
o CG que do final.
I'm sure some people will wonder is now that everything's in Game Pass, people love their like collector's editions and things like that.
Eu vou deixar a live como não listado.
Master Chief helmets and whatnot. How are you guys?
Deixo aberto também, eu deixo público.
If all these things are in Game Pass, will you still have collector's editions, or how will you handle that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we're working with retail partners around the world.
Eu vou ter alguém que está trabalhando, não deu tempo de assistir.
For people that want that, we know there's a fan that wants to buy the game, have the physical disc, and they want to have that steel book, and they want to have something collectible that they can add to their collections. And always loving fans send me tweets with pictures that they've literally from the original Halo. So we will make that available. We also know for a lot of fans, like maybe they wouldn't buy Halo, but if it's included in their Game Pass subscription, they'll try it. We think they're going to love it. And that makes a better experience for everyone, to have more people in multiplayer, have more people playing Halo. Building a bigger community is good, not just for our internal studios, but also for our third-party partners. So we're going to give people choice in how they play. And of course, we'll still support the physical editions as well.
Awesome. And Chris, studio head, was in there talking about, or head of the game, talking about single player, and multiplayer is obviously going to be a big part of the experience as well. probably not a ton to share today about that, but the team is obviously kind of focused on both modes in a big way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we really, like you've seen with any.
Deixa eu bater mais gameplay, não sei se para falar mesmo.
We unveiled Gears, last year. Like, we didn't do it all at once. We're really thoughtful about the right beats. I'd also say this entire show, from beginning to end, every person working on the show, every development team on every demo, every asset is all doing this from home. So that's not easy for game development. So I'm just incredibly proud. The team at 343 has done heroics. They're making great progress on the game. What you saw was obviously full playable gameplay of the campaign. We know that's what people want to see first and foremost for Halo, but I've been hands-on with the multiplayer. I've played it along with Phil and other folks. They've got a lot of exciting innovation happening there, and we'll unveil that when the time's right. But today was about campaign and a first look at that open, expansive world, some of the new things like the grappling hook, and it's all Chief all the time, which I think is definitely what fans are looking for.
What people wanted to hear confirmation of. And I saw holiday 2020, so the plan is still that this will launch kind of day and date with Series X for the game?
Yes, our plan is to launch this holiday. We're planning to launch this Series X. For folks that don't know, the last time Halo launched with an Xbox was with the original Xbox. Back in 2001. So, for us, we've been very thoughtful about planning the launch of this generation and every approach, every detail, from all the player first initiatives to having Halo ready to building the world's most powerful ever made. And so we're feeling really proud about that. And we think we're well positioned for a great holiday for our fans and for our partners.
You talked about, world's most powerful console.
Olha o Tanishu chorando lá, velho. Chat.
Group showcases, world premieres and announcements. One that we should talk about at the end there was a nice moment, was a brand new Fable from Playground Games. We didn't get a ton of information out of that teaser about it, but what can you tell us? I mean, Fable is back. We can obviously expect RPG. It looks like that's more of a sort of a CG piece versus showing the gameplay, but what can you tell us?
Não entendi, Eduardo. O que você tá falando, mano?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we know this is probably at the very top of the list of things we hear from fans. I've heard from fans more than anything is we want Fable. Please make another Fable. And to put the Fable franchise and give it a completely fresh start in the hands of one of the greatest game developers in the world, and also right there in England with Playground Games, is sort of a dream come true. So we're letting them, get a fresh start with the franchise, and really, you can see it's still got the classic, British humor that's really true to the franchise. It's obviously going to be a role-playing game. We've got the best folks in the industry working on it, and today was just the reveal of the game, and we're excited to officially say Fable's coming, and we'll share more when we're ready. But this is the start of that journey.
Yeah, and that wasn't the only RPG that you guys announced. Obsidian also announced Avowed, which is something people are really excited about, a full next-gen RPG from the Obsidian team. Again, a similar kind of...
Acho que eu vou encerrar essa live.
Just announcing the concept of it. Maybe could
you tem mais nada interessante, não?
Between those two, I mean...
Galera, vou encerrar aqui. Valeu.
They're different.
Valeu pela presença, senhores, aí é nóis.
Similar RPGs, or how are you approaching them in terms of...
Vou deixar como no listado, ou vou deixar por ver.